Makeup.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here live, NECSS 2012, with the amazing one himself, James Randi. James, thank you for joining us.
Ta-da!
Does anybody ever call you James? I thought I'd throw that in there.
No, they just call me Amaze.
Amaze, okay, we're here with Amaze. So, Amaze, how are you enjoying your time in New York so far?
This is I always enjoy New York City, but when NECSS is going on, I mean, what else would you need? This is a very, very fine conference, and I've heard very good things, and from some people who have made reverses in their lives due to the kind of work that NECSS and myself and many other dedicated people will be doing and are doing presently. It's just wonderful to see people turned around in their tracks and actually turn to a rational point of view. It's a little painful, I know, for them to go through this, but it pays off.
On that note, we just heard a speech a little bit earlier today from Deborah Feldman, as one of the speakers, who went from an extreme religious insular background to opening our eyes and seeing the world as it is. When you see talks like that, does that validate to you what you've been doing?
Oh, yes, and at the same time, I have to realize the sacrifices they made, the stress they had to go through, because they're raised in an atmosphere that believes in what I call woo-woo, and firmly entrenched in it. It's the basis of their lives altogether. It takes a great deal of courage, a great deal of bravery, and some pain, I'm sure, for them to go through this transition.
Did you ever envision when you started off in this career track that things would take off the way they have and that conferences like NECSS and TAM would be popping up all over the place like they have been?
I had no notion that this would happen. I sort of hoped in the back of my head, I suppose, that this sort of thing might happen. But after the success of my first couple of books, I began to realize that maybe it was possible, because I got a very, very good reaction from that. And now that I'm a columnist for Wired magazine, I'm feeling that I have a much greater scope. I'm reaching out to more people, and the reaction to my column in Wired has been really strong. I'm not terribly surprised by it, because people are looking for this sort of input. But I'm very, very pleased to know that I've gotten that kind of reaction, and that people who read it react as strongly as they do.
Now, you're going to be talking today, a little bit later. I believe the title of your talk is Surviving the Quacks. Would you care to give a little preview of what you plan to speak about?
Stay away from the quacks. That's it.
Well said, as always.
Summarized, yes.
Well, Amaze, better known as Mr. Randi, thank you very much for joining us.
It's a great pleasure. Thank you for asking me.